If ever you decide, however reason you make that decision, however way you make it, and for whatever reason, that you want to be free as an individual, you can be. The real you can be free, but it's up to you. No human being, no money, no group, no family or friends, or whether fake or real, no marriage or single or being divorced can ever do it for you. It doesn't matter where you live. It ain't gonna do it. It will never set you free. You can have as much money as the richest person on this side of heaven. That man that is hiring all these or supporting all these DAs to destroy countries. I forgot, George Soros. You can have more money than George Soros. It seems like he has a lot of money. You still won't be free. People can say how much they like you or hate you or dislike you, whatever. You still won't be free. Everything starts, it begins and ends with you. And it's up to you. You can read all of the psychology book, get every degree that they're offering you, and feel all proud in your ego fallen state. You still won't be free. You can go to preacher school and get bishop, pope, reverend, Dr. Reverend Bishop Pope degrees, and you still won't be free. Isn't that amazing? Just titles will not free you. When you really think about it, isn't that amazing that most people are wasting their lives looking for peace in all the wrong places, looking for freedom, when in reality is right there at hand? It is at hand. It is within you. It's mind-blowing to me, really. It really is, but I understand it. I totally understand it. Freedom is at hand. The kingdom of heaven is at hand. Everything you are and everything you're looking for, everything you will ever want or desire is at hand. You already have it. But you're looking on the outside instead of within. And you're being played. You're being had. You are worshiping the devil inside of you and outside of you, inside of others, thinking that you're worshiping God. All thoughts are all lies all the time about anything, except for practical thoughts. I have to start separating that. Practical thoughts like, I got to get up in the morning and go to work. I have to get some dinner. Once you do those things, you don't have to think on those things. All thoughts are all lies all the time about anything. It's amazing how thoughts can set you up to have the worst life possible. And you think that it's the right way. You take credit for it. Who told you to do that? I did. Why did you do that? I thought it was the right thing. Rather than seeing that you've been possessed, that you are unconscious, and in that unconscious state, you're made to do the things you do and act the way that you act and identify with the things you identify with, but you won't see that it's not you. You take credit for being wrong or being right. What a mess! And as a result, life is hell right here on earth. But it can really be heaven on earth. But you got to let all desires and ideas and imaginations and intellectual learning and all of it, you got to let it go completely. You must become dumb because you're dumb anyway and believing in all that stuff. It's a real mess, folks. And the world is in a mess. I put America first. My country is in a mess. What's so interesting to me, amongst many things, is that the devil can convince you of something and you think you really see it for yourself, and you'll go out and you'll say it and do it as though it's true. And no one can convince you, hey, that's not true. You can't prove a lie because once you believe a lie, it becomes your truth. It becomes true to you. And no one can convince you that you're wrong. Isn't that amazing? Have you ever tried to convince an angry person that they're wrong? No, not like that. Satan ain't gonna let Satan, the devil, their guy, ain't gonna let them go. He's not gonna let them go. Isn't that amazing? Just think about it. You can test this. Try to convince an angry person that they're wrong. I don't care what it looked like. It was wrong. You're wrong. That's not it. They ain't gonna let you. That ain't gonna happen. And they'll walk away believing they're right when they're wrong. I see it in relationships all the time. And when I say relationship, marriages, dating, engagements, family ships, friendships, work ships, all the time. You can't convince an angry person that they're wrong. That's why you shouldn't be arguing with the devil. Let the devil go. Okay, fine. Because the more you try to convince the devil that he's wrong, the more he's convinced that he's right. He or she. It's the darndest thing I ever seen, folks. In all my born days. Like, for an example, this is a big example. There are a lot of little examples, right? But this one is so apparent that most people are missing it. And I've said this over and over again, and I keep saying it in hopes that black people will wake up. All people, of course, I don't need to say that because y'all know I'm for all people, but I really want the blacks to wake up and realize they've been living in darkness, in hell, and nothing is working for them. And it has nothing to do with anyone but themselves. It starts with them, the individual, and end with them, the individual black. It ain't about race or racism. It ain't about white supremacy. I know a lot of blacks, most blacks believe that white people are superior to them. And I'm like, well, where's the proof of that? Well, they think they are. How do you know what they're thinking? It's you thinking that because you believe the lie. And they're getting worse, and they won't even pause. And a few are. There are individuals amongst the massive that are taking a second look like, well, what's wrong with me? That's the beginning. How come I think another race of people is superior to me? And you can pay attention to that. When blacks, they often say that white people are superior. White supremacy. What they're saying is that white people are superior. I know they are. I believe they are. And as a result, I'm just going to take what they have because I can't do it. That's just a small example. I mean, a big example, like big public example. And you see it, how they run their other areas that they live in and communities, and when they take over somebody else's business or stuff, they destroy it. Obama took over the country when they voted him in, and he nearly destroyed it. And it's still being destroyed as a result of that. It's worse off today than ever. And it got worse under the fallen Messiah, Barack and Big Mama Michelle. And they black. And what they just cried racism all through the thing. Because they're blind and cannot see. Really. They are disconnected from reality. Every human being, until he or she return to the Father, is disconnected from reality. It's just the way it is. But it doesn't have to be that way. It does not have to be that way. I've said over and over again that black people cannot run anything. Look what they're doing in their own so-called country, Africa, which is not theirs, by the way. They're screwing Africa up. And likewise, they're screwing America up. And I ask over and over, show me a place where majority of blacks are in control and you can't wait to go live there. You just can't wait. Nobody has been able to point it out yet. And they're turning my country into a ghetto. I have more proof. Affirmative action is not the answer. It is not the answer. Some of you might not be aware of this. There has never in the history of the United States of America been anything like the city of South Fulton, Georgia. South Fulton, Georgia. On the southwest outskirts of Atlanta. I remember when Atlanta used to be amazing, when the white folks was in control of it. But anyway, South Fulton, Georgia, on the southwest outskirt of Atlanta. It is the suburban municipality with a population of some 108,000. 108,000 people live there, according to this report, and of which 9 out of every 10 residents are black. So 108,000 people live in South Fulton, Georgia. Out of every 10, 9 of them are black. Y'all hear that? 9 out of 10 are black. Of a place of its size. It is statistically the blackest by far. And
the city of South Fulton is where you want to be.
What started as an idea is a reality and the result of resilience. The city of South Fulton is the new kid on the block, emerging in just 2 years and moving forward as the South's newest jewel. One of Georgia's largest cities with more than 100,000 residents who call the city home and sharing the responsibility of making it the city where you want to be.
Wow. Don't you just feel like packing your bags and running to South Fulton, Georgia right now? But unfortunately, the planes don't have workers, so you can't get there. Don't you just feel like driving? Everybody and their mama want to live in South Fulton, Georgia. 9 out of 10 of the residents are black. The blackest town in America. Statistically for its size. Don't you, isn't it like beautiful the way little black kids on the merry-go-round? They show the little suburb area and it's all clean. Don't you just want to live in South Fulton? Jesse, you've been lying about the blacks. They make it better. I just want to live in South Fulton. Let that just sink in for a minute, right? Let's take a look at a recent city council meeting in South Fulton. Watch this.
At 11, South Fulton City Council says it has no confidence in its own mayor. This comes after the mayor claimed the council created a culture of corruption.
Corey, our meeting is being disrupted. Hold one second. Let the police do their job first.
In a room at capacity and at times in uproar, the city council made a unanimous vote of no confidence against their own mayor, Khalid Camus.
This city council is doing whatever they want to do.
This a few days after the mayor questioned the council's handling of a police investigation. Fast forward to Friday, Camus said this meeting was illegal, violating an Open Meetings Act. He said he also filed temporary restraining orders against the city attorney and all council members.
For you to file a suit, that's your tax dollars that's being used. It's ridiculous. The games need to stop.
Wow, don't you just want to live in South Fulton, Georgia? Beautiful little black kids. Riding around on the merry-go-round and the car dealership and come on down to buy a car. And they have a mayor by the name of Khalid Camus. That's just such an American name that I can't wait to live in South Fulton, Georgia. The blackest city for its population in the country. Well, let me just introduce Khalid Camus. This is who they voted for. This is who they voted for. Khalid Camus, back when he was running for mayor. Watch this.
Khalid Camus vows changes are coming to the city of South Fulton with him as the next mayor.
We are going to have the most exciting, engaging, entertaining, and informational council meetings that anybody's ever seen.
I voted for Khalid, and I did so because I just thought we needed some fresh blood, younger opinions and ideas.
The now mayor-elect Khalid is a former Black Lives Matter organizer who dropped out of law school in 2015 to help form the Atlanta chapter. With an African-American population of 92%, Camus says on his website he's on a mission to make America's blackest city black on purpose.
If we know that the challenges that we're facing in our communities are the result of federal, state, and local policies, then we have to be intentional in our policy making to dismantle those systemic barriers.
When it comes to his politics, the mayor-elect says he is a democratic socialist.
Democratic socialism is by the people, for the people.
Amazing, huh? You remind me of that mayor of Mississippi, who during his campaign, he told the people, in essence, I'm going to turn this city upside down. And they still voted for him. Now they can't get water. He black. And so Khalid wanted the blackest city in town. He got it. He is a socialist. A socialist. And socialism is about controlling. They don't want you to be independent. They don't want freedom. That guy in Jackson, I believe it was Jackson, Mississippi, Chokwe Lumumba. What? Why y'all hiring these people with these African names? I guess they African. They may be Allah Abba names. But he planned to make Jackson, Mississippi the most radical city on the planet. That's according to the Nation. Well, you just heard about Khalid Camus. Well, let me show you the beauty of this 9 out of 10 black residents. Black excellent. In this town. Black excellent. Fulton County residents, however, are concerned with crime. This is from Fox. Watch this.
Meantime, developing tonight, it was a standing room only crowd tonight at a transition meeting for the new city of South Fulton. One of the biggest concerns there for some of those residents is safety at gas stations where shootings, carjackings, and more have happened.
Greatest challenge is crime.
That's the problem. That's the only thing that really destabilizes a city.
At a standing room only meeting, people packed the place to hear about plans to tackle crime and other issues facing the new city of South Fulton. One of the biggest concerns is the series of robbings, carjackings, and more at South Fulton area gas stations.
Amazing, huh? Do you still want to go and live in this beautiful town with the little black kids riding around on a merry-go-round, and you just can't wait to go there? When they make the commercial sound so tempting and beautiful. What a mess. Black excellence at work. Do you believe me now when I say that black people can't run anything? They don't know how to make it better. It's not in them. And that's why they believe that white people are superior to them. Do you believe me now? It's a spiritual battle, folks. It's not physical. And black people have spiritual issues. You've given them all the material things. They can't make that work because the spirit is not well. They're lost in their imagination, in their anger. And ain't no way out until they overcome that. Ain't no way out. And I'm encouraging the black, pull away from the blackness. Pull away from this socialist, evil mentality that you have. It's wicked. And I know that blacks are accustomed to being socialists and not even know it. They don't know that. Most of them, their so-called leaders know what they're doing with that, but the ones under them don't know that they have been groomed to be little socialists running around. That's why, like that Khalid just said, socialism. They're okay with it because they think it's good. That first story about, I said it was CBS, yeah. Isn't that amazing? It's not going to change until the order change, until they come back to reality, back to love. Up until then, they will be cursed generation after generation after generation. And the country will suffer for it because evil will try to destroy you and everyone and everything around you. And they are of evil. They have no love. And it hasn't always been that way. I can happily tell you that. If you doubt me, check out Uncle Tom 2. You can look at Uncle Tom 1 first and then give you some general idea, and then Uncle Tom 2 bring it almost home, and then Uncle Tom 3 going to land it, the rocket ship for you. Going to land it for you. UncleTom.com. And put in the little code JLP, you can get 30% off. Blacks have not always been this way. At one time, they were independent. They loved the country. They worked hard. They knew that it was a spiritual issue and not physical. So they didn't blame white people for their problems. They knew wrong, good, and bad was in all people. Some overcome, some had not. But the civil rights movement came along and took over. It has been hell to pay since then. One of the worst things, worse than slavery and next to abortion that ever happened to black people was the so-called civil rights movement. I got to take a break already. What the? 888-7753-773. Back in a moment.